Today I'm making one of our favorite side dishes ever. Now, up until about 2 years ago, I wasn't crazy about this vegetable. It's Brussels sprouts. Now, Brussels sprouts, they're just mini cabbages, but if you cook them right, like I have tried so many different ways to cook them over the past couple years, I finally perfected the right temperature and the right timing and the right ingredients. And I will give you a few ideas on these, but the way to cook these is at a high temperature, and they become crisp with the right amount of fat on them, so then they can also be a little bit gooey in the middle, you know? So they're just like, almost like a potato, crunchy on the outside, but in the middle it's like, that yummy, hearty goodness. And these actually remind me of like having a potato as a side dish because of that, and also what I put in them. So what you're gonna wanna do, okay, this is my recipe. I made this the same way. Sometimes I'll put different little toppings, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But let me show you all the stuff right here, all the goods that and it's very simple, just a few ingredients, okay? So don't think it's gonna be crazy. Okay guys, before I forget though, turn that oven on to 400 degrees to preheat while you're doing all this, okay? I always seem to forget to tell you guys at the very beginning, so I'm telling you now, so it's nice and hot, okay? So my Brussels sprouts, first of all, when you take them out of the bag, please try to choose organic if you can find them. Now Whole Foods has them. You're gonna wanna cut that little end off right there, okay? Number one. All right, toss that. And then you're gonna wanna cut them in half lengthwise, so they're like this, all right? And then I take some red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, whatever you want, and cut them up into little chunks or slices, however you prefer them. Some people, you know, they have their quirkiness about size and all that stuff, so that's okay. Onions, I also cut them in little chunks. And now, don't forget, you can obviously omit something that you don't like. If you don't like onions, just do peppers, do garlic if you want. I've tried doing, like, I've put mushrooms in this dish before, but makes it too watery. Waters it down. You don't want that. You want these to have that crisp outer edge, okay? And just up until recently, I made Brussels sprouts with chopped up bacon, and Rob said to me, these are the best Brussels sprouts you've ever made. Of course, because it has bacon. And so now I make them like this all the time, unless I'm making like too much protein already, then I'll omit this. And of course, if you don't eat bacon, then just don't put it in there. But this is how I make mine. So I live in the South now, so now I'm, you know, the bacon and all that goodness I put in my dishes. Now you're gonna wanna take a pan, you guys. I put 2 tablespoons of butter. If you wanna use ghee, I use that sometimes too. I also like to use tallow, which is the fat that comes off the bone broth, but I don't have any right now. And also bacon fat is delicious, but you're gonna get that with the bacon on the top, which I'm gonna put on the top. So we're gonna melt this butter. You're gonna wanna put it on the stove until it's melty and take it off so we can, off the stove, so we can put all this stuff in there with the seasonings, okay? So now the seasonings here that I use, very simple: salt, pepper, red chili flakes, and garlic powder, all right? Okay, so after the butter's all melted in the pan, you wanna just spread the Brussels sprouts, the peppers and onions on here. Sprinkle as much or as little salt as you want. I would say this is about a half of a teaspoon right here that I'm putting in. And then if you need more after they come out of the oven, then do so. Same with pepper. I do a quarter of a teaspoon of chili reds. And again, to your liking, if you want to put more or if you want to omit some of these, then go for it. Some garlic salt, and then at the very top, then I will spread the bacon. And that bacon fat is going to cover and drip right down onto my vegetables. It's so good, you guys. Now, I'm gonna pop it in the oven, obviously 400 like I told you, for 45 minutes. But after a half an hour, toss them around so then they can get brown on the other side as well. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven. What I did after the 45 minutes is I broiled them for a couple of minutes because I wanted them a little bit extra crisp. I put a little extra Brussels sprouts in here today, so it took a little bit longer to cook than usual. But you guys hear this? That crunch? That's the crunchy top part of the Brussels sprouts. And you still got the, you know, a little bit of softness. If you want them cooked a little bit longer, then you can go ahead and do so. Sometimes I do if I want them extra crispy. All right. So you can just add these to any side dish and they are perfection. Now I like to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Sometimes I do that for a little extra kick. If I'm making a nice little salad, this will be like a nice little addition to a salad, really, to have something hearty. And the bacon, my goodness, if you can only smell this dish right now, it's absolutely so delicious smelling and tasting, absolutely wonderful. So this is my nice little dinner tonight. Having a nice light tuna salad dinner with a side of Brussels sprouts. And I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope that you'll enjoy this as much as we do. And thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't done so already, please, please, please subscribe to my channel so you can get all of my updates on my recipes. Down below, just hit the little bell button and subscribe, and you will know when I put something else out. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I so appreciate it, and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.